If you are learning to read tarot for yourself, whatever stage of reading you're at, the clearest and simplest piece of advice I can give you is to look at the cards. You may have noticed that I really only read with one deck, which is this deck, the Rider-Waite deck. This is the Pamela Coleman Smith Centenary deck. I do read with the Druidcraft deck as well, but I don't read with a wide number of decks because I like to be really familiar with the details. And so I'm just going to take you through some of the joint symbolism that joins cards that helps you to understand, because I think it's the hardest part about tarot is finding the story between the cards. And that is why we look and we find the similarities, the symbols, the colors, the threads that link the cards that try to give us a cohesive whole. So you'll often find in books that Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles are listed as work cards. They can often, though not always, be connected with your work, your study, or whatever you do in life that you consider your work or your studies. And one of the reasons that these two cards are connected is the bench that in this card the stonemason is standing on, and in this card the carver, stonemason, we don't know what he's carving in, is sitting on. It is a clear and cohesive connection between just these two cards. I have not seen this stool on any other card in Rider-Waite, but I may be wrong. But you don't need to remember this. You don't need this recorded in a checklist or a notebook somewhere, because what you need to do is you look at the cards. And if you're doing a spread and you are taking the time to look carefully at the cards, and you've happened to have both the 3 and the 8 in the same spread, then you would notice, well, look at that. The bench that is in the three of Pentacles is also in the Eight of Pentacles, and you would find a connection between those two cards in that spread. So that's one of the beautiful connections that I love. Another connection I love is the red roses and the white lilies. So we have they're in several cards throughout the Rider-Waite deck. Oops, but here we have them in the Magician. So we have the red roses. To me, that represents the physical world. The first rose, I think, sort of in archetypal myths, was white, and then a deity, pick your favorite one, pricks their thumb on, or his thumb on the thorn, and a drop of blood fell onto the white rose, and the white rose sort of became manifest, if you like. It represents our physical body with our blood pumping through it. And then we have the white lilies as well, which to me represent the spiritual connection, the sort of the wisdom, the soul, the higher sort of self. So the Magician to me is a really powerful card of manifestation. It's saying you've got all the tools you need. There they are, laid out on the table. You've got your girdle of strength around you. You're connected to your higher guidance with that infinity symbol above you. Hands to the earth, hands to the skies. You're working in tune with nature, with the seasons of the year, with the movement of the planets. This is a card of genuine, powerful manifestation. Beautiful. Have a look at the Two of Wands. Now, to me, the Two of Wands is the potential for manifestation. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's looking out across the vista, and we have blue mountains there in the distance, signifying his highest potential. He knows that he could manifest, but he's both looking out and looking back over his shoulder at the same time. He's caught in that fear moment between past and future. The wands that represent, I think, our energy, our intuition, our forward movement, our fire, our yang. One is not grounded at all. The other is bolted to the wall. It's like, I'm not going to go till I'm absolutely certain. And the red roses and white lilies that together combine heaven and earth, or intuition and action, that really sort of signal true manifestation. They are merely painted on the wall. So to me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Two of Wands. It is a card of manifestation, just like the Magician is, but it's got more. It's less concrete. It's got more anxiety in it. It's like it's the Magician getting ready to manifest. It's kind of two steps behind. And to me, if you had this out, if you had a spread, and maybe you had, the Magician and the Two of Wands, and you were taking the time to really look very clearly, you might notice the different stances. You might think, actually, holding something heavy in your hand like that, and you might, I mean, I've done this with clients and with students. I've put heavy, it's usually a flower pot, in their hand, and I've said, now I want you to look both over your shoulder and in front of you at the same time. Now hold that. Kind of hurts, right? And then I've got both clients and students, go on, open up like that, open up the rib cage, open up the meridians, open up your energy, and feel how expansive it feels. It's a different feel. And of course, if you were really looking at the cards, you would notice the red roses and the white lilies. One of my favorite little connections between the cards, and I'm still absorbed in this. I was exploring this on Monday evening in my Zoom class. It's the wand, the stick, the staff. I don't know what to call it. Here we have it on the Fool. The more I look at the Fool, the more I believe that the central and most important symbol, the symbol that is meant to capture our focus, is the staff. It seems to flow right out of the sun itself. It's on a beautiful line. We just can't quite see the end of it. Can we? Can we see the end? Can we not? I'm not sure. It's almost like an optical illusion. But the thing is with this staff, it isn't, it's not a wand. The wands in this deck are brown and they have leaves spurting from it. We've got, where has it gone? Just like that. The staff on the Hermit or the Eight of Cups is like a golden colour. It's not the same as there. We do find the same staff, and if you've seen it more in the Rider-Waite deck, do let me know. But to my knowledge at the moment, I found it in 2 other places. There it is in the Six of Swords. Now, I often associate the Six of Swords in a reading as something's got your back in a positive way. Your guides, your gods, your ancestors, depending on your perception. You are guided on still waters by a force bigger than yourself. And it took me a while to realize that one of the connections for that is because to me, the Fool is an unincarnated spirit. That's why we have the white rose, the rose with no blood, the spirit with no, or the soul with no body. That's why we have the sun. To me, this is a 0. It's our potential. It's our soul before we are incarnated. Clearly linking then to the chap that is guiding the Six of Swords. And the next place we find that staff, that stick, is on the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I have had a bit of a rap in the past for being too negative on the Ten of Pentacles, and it was called out on Zoom on Monday, very wisely. When you look at the Ten of Wands, the perspective is strange, and it's hard to tell with this who is holding the staff. Is it the wise old man? Is it the Odysseus who comes back from his travels? In which case, I would say he's maybe a visiting ancestor. Or maybe if you've got the Ten of Pentacles in a spread, and maybe you've got the Six of Swords and or the Fool, and your eye thinks, whoa, look at that. I've got 2 or 3 of those black ones. And if you look at it and your eye catches the old man, look at the other cards around it. Maybe then this is talking about spiritual wisdom, the tradition that is handed to us by our ancestors. If, on the other hand, looking at the cards around it, or if your eye seems to perceive that this spiritual wand, this gift from the other side, is held by the young man, then I would say that maybe he thinks he's got the wisdom of the older generation without having the experience. And the time to really look out for the Ten of Pentacles is when you notice you have the Tower in the same spread. Because, of course, when we look at the Ten of Pentacles and the Tower together, we can begin to see the pattern building. Because, yes, we have a tower, we have a tower. We have what appears to be a male and a female character, and we have the blue and the red, and we have the eyes, the side. And I'm not telling you what it will mean, because it will mean something different in every single spread. It can be the blessing of being released from something that was trapping you. I have definitely seen this mean the end of a marriage and somebody very grateful for it. It can mean many other things as well, depending upon your question and the cards around it. But my point is, when you put the cards out, look for the symbols. No book can contain all of these cross references. I can't remember them all, but I take the time to always look and find them in a reading. And I think that's how I find the narrative, the story between the cards.